Welcome to the Two Crazy podcast. I'm Courtnei, better known as Curly Pecan Tan, and my co-host is Chloe, better known as Cousin Chloe. We are just two women that are intensely enthusiastic about cultivating life and laughter with our lips, and we've been doing so since fall 2003. Please remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Everything shared here are the independent thoughts and opinions of us and do not necessarily reflect the view of any parties either of us are affiliated with. With that being said, welcome to episode 1. Real or falsies?
Well, clearly I'm real today.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Oh, I'm all about a falsie.
And you all about a falsie right about now. But it's cool. It's cool.
Good
It's
little
cool.
flash. Do what?
All right. So we have different segments that we're going to do for our podcast. And our first segment, since we've been friends for so long, we're always still learning about each other. So we have a segment we like to call Eyebrow Raisers. And all that is a kind of a get to know you question. If you've watched any of our lives, we do a lot of fun little quirky games and stuff like that. So we'll just pull one of those questions from there and, have fun with it. So, Courtney, would you rather have winter forever or summer forever?
Winter forever, hands down. You can continue to put clothes on, but once you take off so many clothes, you still could be hot. When it's winter, I can put on socks, I can put on a hat, I can put on gloves, I can put on a jacket, I can put on a hoodie, I can do all these things. Plus, I love the snow, and I love seeing my breath move. I feel like I know yours.
Since you know mine, what is my answer?
Summer.
Exactly. Because I likes to be naked, okay? I like to show skin. I don't mind being a little hot, because all that means is you don't take off a few layers of clothing. Of course, I am respectful, but I do like to show skin and be free. So, summertime works for me. So, and either way, it's all good. So, yeah.
I was going to say, and you were frozen. Our next segment is I've got my eye on you. And that's just referencing kind of what we've seen in the media, what's kind of hitting us hard, what's kind of speaking to us currently right now. So for myself, living here in Georgia, a video just got released of Ahmaud Arbery, the young man that was gunned down back in February. He was simply running, doing his best life in a suburban neighborhood, and two men stopped him and shot him in the head, killed him immediately. The reason why this is so big and the reason why it's so traumatic for us right now is, one, a video has been released. And then two, there have yet to be arrest in this situation. So this man has been dead since February of this year, before all this other craziness has occurred with COVID-19, and his killers have yet to be brought to justice. And it just so happens that Ahmaud is a Black man, and his killers, we are now seeing, are of another race. So it's just a very disparaging time.
What another race?
Caucasian.
Okay. Oh, another race. Girl.
I was trying to be appropriate. I didn't want it to be overly like, she don't fool with white folks.
No, that's not what that means. But it's just identify who they are.
Which it is.
If it was in reverse, They'd be like, that black man killed that white woman. So
correct.
Hollywood
So,
it is.
it's very hurtful. It's very traumatizing, especially when so many of our people in the community are already dying from COVID-19. And then here we are, we're still being gunned down in 2020. So that right there is just something that has been a little unsettling to me in the last few days, and especially like in the last few hours, that I've been doing a little bit more reading. But
yeah.
That's you.
But speaking of COVID-19, that's actually what I have my eye on this week. Is just, I'm in Texas, and of course they've opened up Texas, and I'm actually grateful that a lot of the businesses are not just jumping to open up, especially if they haven't made the proper precautions for their businesses. And I know a lot of companies haven't actually, they don't want to really operate at 25%. Like if you're a restaurant, it makes no sense to have 4 tables occupied out of 10 tables if nobody's going to be able to be in there the proper way. I mean, there's no point in having a staff come in for that. So I'm actually pretty happy to see that, despite the government kind of doing their own whatever, trying to say keep the economy going, which I respect, but you have to do it the right way. And like I said, I'm happy to see that despite the fact that the government's doing whatever they want, people are not just jumping. Let me rephrase that. Most people are not just jumping at the chance to go out and get outside, because I mean, at some point it's going to happen to where we do have to get back to a new sense of normalcy. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like, come on now.
Or you all opening up in phases like the rest of the country.
Yeah.
So for Georgia, our first wave was massage parlors, nail salons, barbershops, things like that. And then our second wave that came through was supposed to be restaurants. However, a lot of these places, even though they were given the go ahead and open, have chosen not to. So y'all aren't opening up on a wave? Or
it's waves and phases, whatever you want to call it. But ours is kind of the reverse. Like, they actually opened up the restaurants, and I can't remember that, but most of the restaurants you're able to dine in. That was as of last Friday. But now, I actually just read, I think today, that they're talking about allowing salons and stuff to open up starting this Friday, but that was supposed to be another couple of weeks. So, but either way, I mean, it was really interesting to see that some people are still taking this seriously, because it's far from over. But yeah, people are still taking it seriously and not just rushing to open up their businesses when it really may not be safe for them to do so. So that's like I said, that's really reassuring. So either way, all right, so we're gonna move on and get off of that heavy stuff. But we want you to know that we are in tune with what's going on into the world, and we're not just all about lashes and lipstick and stuff like that. But so the name of this episode is Real or Falsies. And so that is our episode topic. And I did not intentionally wear my own lashes. It was just, hey, that's what happened. So with Real or Falsies, we want to talk about our friendship. We want to talk about who we are, how we met, why we're doing this podcast, our friendship story, and why we've been friends for so long. So in 2 sentences or less, who are you? And why are you on this podcast with me?
I am Courtney. I am an educator. That's still 1 sentence. Courtney and an educator. I am doing this podcast with you because I tolerate you and I low-key like you some days.
No, ma'am. Anywho, I'm Chloe. I am a hotelier, sales hotelier, and I am
Fancy name.
And excuse me, what? Huh?
Fancy name, hotelier.
I didn't interrupt you. Thank you.
Real life.
Anywho, but yeah, so I work in hospitality, and I also dabble in the makeup industry, and I guess beauty industry. And I wanted to do this podcast with you because of the simple fact that this is a way for us to spend more time together, number one. And then number two, I think it's important for us people to get to know you and I beyond the unit that we've been presented. And so our friendship started where?
Baylor University, South Russell Hall, Sorrow, 6 East.
Okay.
We
right.
did have a hand gesture. It was like this.
I don't recall doing this ever in my life.
You were probably off doing
or drinks. So
no, you were living your best life. You were barely.
Don't you do it? Thank you. Anywho, so like I said, like she said, we met in college. We met in fall 2003 in our residence hall at Baylor University. And
I would just like to go on record and say I had the best room on that side of the hallway because I was in a 3-person room and we had the biggest one because we were that corner suite.
This is true.
And my roommates were never there. It's like I had a whole room to myself all the time.
This is also true. Either way, so we met because Courtney came to borrow a movie and she's a thief and I'm going to be suing her because she's never returned the movie. And pretty much from there, life's ups and downs have happened and we have stood the test of time and like I said, had our ups and had our downs and some lefts and some rights and some overs and some unders and we still here. So why do you think we've been friends so long?
Because I think we are accepting of the totalness of the other person. I don't think we spend our time nitpicking of why this person isn't doing something or why they're not doing something. We're like, this is who they are. This is how they present themselves. That's not to say we call the other person out on their foolishness because that's definitely done. And we don't mind it. I think that's the other thing. We're open to the feedback that's given. We're open to, even if we get mad, even if we cut the conversation short, we're like, I love you. It is what it is. I'll talk to you later. And the talk to you later might not be the next day. It might be 2 days. It might be a quick text message like, girl, let me tell you what happened. But it's still there and it is still understood that the friendship hasn't stopped. It's just we have a difference of opinion on this and that's okay.
That's valid. I think the only thing I want to add is I've learned that over the years that real friendship, real sisterhood is truly unconditional. That is what has made us who we are. In the beginning, I would say we probably didn't understand the level of unconditional love that we had for each other, just being transparent. And then I feel like over the years, we have understood the importance of having unconditional love for each other, if that makes any sense. And I think with a lot of people who are in long-term friendships, I mean, we're looking at going on 17 years of knowing each other. And in those 17 years, there were some super great, memorable moments, and there were some moments that I'd rather forget. But at the end of the day, I learned that being friends with you is unconditional, and having the type of friendship that we have is unconditional, and we hold each other accountable. We both get each other into stuff too, but when
I would like to say that's not me. I don't get you in anything. I'm usually just down for the ride. I'm like, this what we doing? Bet.
But you're not getting me out of it either. So
You're right. Yeah, I'm an accomplice. I am ride or die. Like if we in there, we in there. And ride or die. Bad girls for life. Like I don't. You're so right. I don't try and get you out of things.
You know.
Usually, depending on the situation, I'm like, yeah, go do that. Do it. Because I'm not going to do it. But you'll do it.
Clearly.
So, I'm okay with that.
Anywho.
It works for us.
Yeah.
I'm the conservative one.
Right.
I'm the she's the outgoing one in public, but in private, she's very conservative. In private, I'm very outgoing, but in public, I'm extremely conservative.
Ain't gonna do nothing.
Who ain't gonna do nothing? In public? No.
Exactly.
Definitely
well,
not.
First of all, I'm mad you said that as if I said something that was incorrect, because I didn't.
Well, I had to process what you said. At first, it didn't register. I'm like, then when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, you're right. Exactly. It worked.
So, I think, to sum it up, because again, we don't have to go into a whole lot of detail. We got a lot of juicy stuff on the docket for future episodes where we're going to dig deeper on some of these other topics. But I think at the end of the day, Real or Falsies is about lashes and not about our friendship, because our friendship is real. And I think that's what really matters. And of course, if people have questions and want to know more about our friendship, I know we were kind of vague and on the surface, but we will, like I said, we got a lot of stuff lined up and we're going to dig deeper and it'll be a whole lot of fun. So that's cool. But I think we've really covered the Real or Falsies subject. Do you have anything you want to add before we move on?
Okay. 2 things.
Okay.
You touched on the parts of our friendship that were fun and the not so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Give one example of a fun part of our friendship that truly speaks to how different we are with each other than what the public sees, or what Baylor University has seen from the two of us and those that know the two of us as a unit.
I mean, we didn't. A fun thing that I'm gonna say this to where hopefully you understand without me putting all your business out there in the streets. But there was a particular evening with some particular conversations, and she had fallen asleep.
I know what it is. Clutch.
Let me tell the story the best way I can. Back in the year our Lord, I don't remember.
Oh, I can tell you exactly.
It doesn't. No, we don't. Again, unless you want me to tell the whole story, just zip it. Look, I'm trying to protect names and identities here. Thank you. Anyways,
for people, how adult are those people?
It doesn't matter. You're worried about the wrong thing. Anyway, so a particular evening, there. You all right?
Reminiscing, girl.
Well, reminiscing silence. Thank you. Okay, so a particular evening, there was an exchange of conversations happening via the text message. And my dear sweet friend, the young Courtney over here, had fallen asleep.
Like always. I'm always sleeping somewhere.
This is true. And I was still awake because what sleep? Either way, I was still awake and she had fallen asleep on my shoulder. And so I took it upon myself, because this particular text message conversation was still trying to continue, but she was asleep. And I was like, no, we have goals and dreams for the night. So I take her phone, and me being the great bestie that I am, I start responding on her behalf. And she does not talk the way I talk, clearly. And so, long story short, exchanges were made via text. And then it was a nice nudge like, hey, you need to wake up, get it together. You got somewhere to be. And let's just say she had a wonderful evening. So yes, I wasn't even prepared to tell that story, but that's going to go down. I'm not going to tell it at the funeral if she goes before I do, but just know it was a amazing time for her. And I was very happy that I was able to give that to her. So that was one of the fun times. What was your second thing you wanted to add? Come back.
I
Right
don't know.
here.
I don't know.
We're here.
That took me so far.
We're here.
Touch me, Lord. Okay. I'll flip it. Okay, so if I were to say that about us, and it speaks to your more docile nature. It wasn't like a peak of our friendship. I think I can speak more about parts of you that are different than people are expecting, is that Chloe is very agreeable. She is very go with the flow. If that's the suggestion, then she's going to sit there. I remember one time in particular, I think it was that same weekend, us and a group of men from a certain organization.
Friends.
There's a plethora of organizations at Baylor University. We went out for lunch. And because these were people that we were comfortable with, I'm all in the conversation. My head's on swivel. I'm making faces. I don't know what to do. And Chloe is looking at me and kicks me under the table like, I need you to fix your face. Stop talking. Just listen. Just listen. And I'm sitting there like, why I gotta stop talking? If they're talking, I want to get in it. If they didn't want me to know, they wouldn't be talking about it in front of me. So, complete opposites. Opposites in every sense of the word. So those that know her in the Chloe that she gives to everyone, that's not who she is.
No, that's who I am.
I mean, you are, but that's not even like 75% of you.
Okay.
I would give that a smooth, I wouldn't even give that 33. I would give that a smooth 25.
Okay.
Whereas I take that other 75% that she don't give, I take that.
Take that.
And I act a complete donkey with it.
Yeah.
And I keep her laughing. This is also what has kept our friendship going. Because y'all think she's funny, I'm funny.
Yeah. Hee hee. Ha. Anywho, speaking of funny, now it's time for Made Me Blush. Okay, so the Made Me Blush segment is where we talk about a highlight of our week or something that was sweet. Sometimes it might be embarrassing because, sometimes when you blush, it might be because you're embarrassed, and then you might blush because something was super sweet. So my Made Me Blush moment of the week was over the weekend. I went to go and visit my mom, and we went and sat on the porch. We went and sat on the porch and hung out and kind of chit-chat, like,
as I like to call her, Mama P. Poppin' Perline. She's in my phone as Mama P.
Okay, that's beautiful. But those of you who know my mom, she loves to talk. She's very talkative. But either way, we went and we hung out and
all we're talking to.
Went and hung out, and I sat there and talked to her. And so when I told her, I was like, okay, Mom, I'm about to get ready to leave. She went into like mom mode and like went in her house and started finding stuff for me to take, and was like, oh, get this, and I got some tomatoes. You want some tomatoes? I got some juice, and I literally came home with a box of stuff. And if you follow my Instagram page, you'll see the picture, because it is literally like I got Epsom salt, wipes, tomatoes, lettuce, apples, just all kinds of randomness. So that was super sweet that she decided to kind of go into mama mode and just start, like, because when you go to your mama house, they always just got to find something for you to take with them, as if you don't like have a job and a salary and don't know how to take care of yourself. So that was my maybe blush moment of the week.
I like the freebies.
Huh?
I like the freebies.
Oh, of course.
If it comes to something that folds instead of jingles, I'm really about that life. Be it bills or a check.
So what made you blush this week?
I really didn't have anything serious. I just had a little kid tell me I smell good, like I took a bath.
I mean, that matters.
That was my highlight for the week. It was blush like, thanks.
Like, oh.
I did bathe, but on the other hand, it was like what I usually smell like made me more kind of want to be like, what part of me like be stinking? Like, what you feel like? So,
you probably been in quarantine and hearing smelling different smells.
He ain't. It was a little person I knew.
Oh well.
Person I knew.
Except this compliment, it made you blush, so it's all good.
So we also have a segment that is called our lip of the week, which is in relation to basically the lipstick that each of us are wearing at this time. So my lipstick today is called Nudie by LA Girl. You can see that. And the reason why I picked a nude, which as this podcast will continue, I am a nude wearing woman. I believe in a nude lipstick. Fills my spirit, makes me happy. But I really felt, and the reason why I wear nudes in general is just to be very authentic. It strips away you focusing on anything else aside from me. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for anybody. What you see is what you get with just a little bit more hype, a little bit more spice, but this is me. And nude is it. That's where I live at. Nude. So this Nudie by LA Girl. It was actually even a gift. It was a gift from a coworker for Secret Santa. And it just so happens that I really, really like it and I wear it often. With a nice little MAC cork liner.
You done popping it. All right, so my lip of the week is from the Lip Bar, and yes, it's two of them because I did a combination.
And she extra.
And it is City Girl and Everything.
What is it first?
City Girl.
Why you say it like that? City Girl. Whatever. Keep going.
City Girl and Everything. And so the lip of the week is my mood of the week. And so with these two colors, when they combine, they make this color. And the reason I picked these two colors is simply because they remind me of the spring. They remind me of kind of experiencing the city, putting on something, combining something, creating a little fashion, making something happen. And that's kind of been my mood for, anywho, that's kind of been my mood that I'm starting to transition to. I've been doing walking in the neighborhood, so I've been kind of seeing outdoors a little more, and that really ain't my tea. But judged right there is to be out in nature. But it's been a really nice evening. The weather's been pretty nice, so I've been enjoying kind of just getting out of the house and kind of breathing some fresh air and, you know, seeing a few flowers pop up and stuff. So, you know, the spring, summer, you know, getting ready in the mood for that. So that is what my lips of the week are. So our last segment, we like to call it the final spray. And if you've been following along, all of our segments are kind of related to makeup, but that's because we both love makeup. We both love things related to makeup. So that's going to kind of be the flow of the show. So what I did there, flow of the show. Anywho, so the plan is on the final spray, it'll just kind of be summarizing everything, kind of wrapping everything up, and then of course getting you ready for our next episode. So I want you to do 4 things for me to complete this episode. I want you to promote this episode to your followers, share it on your timeline, share it on your Facebook, share it with your friends, send it to your cousins, text somebody, and tell them y'all need to go watch Too Crazy, because this is just a little preview. This is the first episode. We're getting our feet wet, but again, we got a lot of stuff coming. Second thing is you want to make sure you plan to tune in every Wednesday. We're going to post this on our IGTV page, and we're going to post it on our YouTube page. So you'll be able to check us out on both of those. And eventually in the near future, we're going to have it as an actual podcast to where for you, when you're out and about, you don't have time to watch the watch the video. You can listen to the audio. Although I recommend watching the video so you can see our faces and you see the faces. And that way you'll be able to tune in and enjoy us. The last thing, and I think I said 3 or 4, I lost count. But the last thing I want you to do is to follow us on our Instagram page, Too Crazy Podcast. And that's the number 2, CRAYCPODCAST, Too Crazy Podcast. And you can shoot us an email at 2crazies2020@gmail. And that's the number 2, CRAYCS, like Sam, 2020@gmail.com. And you can just shoot us an email, and maybe if you have one of those would you rather questions that you want to suggest for us to do, and you can make it related to us and our friendship if you know us, or you have an idea. So it can be an eyebrow raiser for us. If it's a trending topic you want our opinions on, we can use that for our Eye on You segment. The Made Me Blush segment is always going to be what's special and near and dear to our hearts. And maybe sometimes we'll find something that you all shared, and maybe that'll be something that'll make us blush too. Or if you see something cute on your timeline, be sure to tag us so we can take a look at it. It might be something that makes us blush that week. And then of course, if you have a lippy recommendation, then definitely shoot it to us in our email or tag us on Instagram so that we can maybe try out the lip. Clearly, I'm the color queen. I like all kinds of colors. And sister girl over there, if you see
eyes are colored today.
Yeah, they are. But if you see a clear gloss, it's got her name written all over it. So, whatever your favorite clear gloss, you can send her some recommendations on that.
I like a little sparkle. Like a little
clear gloss with glitter in it. You can.
Real light glitter though, fine glitter. Like I don't like that chunky stuff. I'm just real picky about my glosses.
Clearly. But yeah, so those are some things you can do for us. Hopefully you enjoyed our first episode. Again, it was just a little teaser so you can get to know us a little bit better and see what we're about. And we're definitely looking forward to doing this again next week. And we already got our topic for next week, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, is
where's that? Oh my God, where is it at? Oh, next week's episode is titled Bossed and Beat.
Yes, so next week's episode is going to be titled Bossed and Beat, and that is where we're going to talk a little bit more about our career journeys. And
I said it wasn't in bold. I couldn't see it. I ain't got glasses or contacts on.
Either way, we're going to talk about our career journeys and kind of talk about your calling with your career. Nothing too heavy. Again, we try to keep things light and we want things to be fun, but we want to use these first few episodes for you to really get to know us before we just jump all the way in. So hopefully you'll join us next week. And again, if you have any questions, don't forget to reach out to us on our email. And don't forget to follow us on our Instagram. Not only the Two Crazy podcast page, but both of our Instagram pages, which is Cousin Chloe and Curly Pecan Tan. So if there's nothing else,
got nothing.
great. So bye.
Adios.